Welcome to Healed and Healing. I'm your host, Maria Roney, intuitive healing guide and teacher, and I have created this podcast for you, you amazing, brave human willing to heal and rediscover your authentic self so that you can be free from past pain, trauma, heartbreak, and conditioning so that you can experience true freedom in a joy-filled, abundant life. My own journey taught me that when we choose to heal from the past, we find our confidence, self-trust, intuition, and so much more. And then we embody who we are at soul level, so we are free to shine our light unapologetically and have the freedom and joy beyond our wildest dreams. So come along on this unique, non-traditional path of healing and self-discovery that is both mystical and grounded in the reality of our human experience. And I'm here to tell you, if I can do it, so can you. So let's begin. Hello, amazing, brave soul. Well, I was contemplating life this morning and I had a realization. It's not the first time I've had this realization, but I was thinking about all of the my to-do things. So I was very much like in my masculine, in my thinking, in my head, in my planning. I'm planning a trip in 2 days' time, a road trip, by the way. And I was thinking I need to do this, and then I need to do this, and then I need to do this. Then I need to have, it'll be a 7-hour drive, and then I'll be there. And then it just dawned on me, right? Like how I'm actually on a journey to a journey to a journey, because the whole of life is a journey. So what was I doing even thinking that, oh, well, when I do this, this, and this, like then I'll be there. Then I'll be at the destination. And of course, there is no destination. And it's like, I know you'll forgive me for having those thoughts, because I think they're just so human to go, well, when this happens and this happens and this happens, I'll be there. And even on the awakening journey, like on this healing path, and we become more conscious and aware, and our awareness expands. I know at one point I believed that like I would be there and I would be healed and I would be fully conscious, awakened, so to speak. And that's just like, well, it's kind of toxic spirituality, to be honest. But that's what I believed at the time, and that's okay, because we're all at our own place. But what I know to be deeply, deeply true is that we're always on this journey. And so this realization this morning, or this deepening of this realization, has helped me to have more joy in this part, in the planning stage. And the reminder that it's just all intertwined. It's one journey. This whole lifetime is one journey. And there is no destination. And so when I realized as I was growing and healing in my consciousness, it suddenly dawned on me one day that there is nowhere to go. You don't just get there and you're done. Like that there is this, massive joy for me that comes from self-discovery and learning more and understanding more about who we are as humans and how we live on this planet, on Mother Earth, and in the wider universe, and like how my gifts even work, like blows my tiny human brain. But when I can, trust that I'm on like this journey that just keeps going and I keep learning and evolving and shifting and changing, it's freedom. And when I realized in that moment, I felt so free. I was like, of course there is no destination. And like if you believe that, that's absolutely fine. Lots of people feel that there is a destination to get to. And what I can say is that the next leg of the oneness of the journey gets better and it becomes more joyful. And it's like I'm going to use the analogy of the caterpillar to the butterfly, that when the caterpillar has to like completely break down, and that one of my favorite quotes, just when the caterpillar thought her life was over, she began to fly. So once she transforms into the butterfly, she has no choice but to use her wings and fly, and there's no going back. And this is the same with our human journey. When we choose to allow life to crack us open, we allow that richness in our life, we allow we allow the extremes to shift and change us into like who we really authentically are at soul level. And so I go back to, there is part of the journey, there's no destination, and there's such lightness that comes with that. And so I will describe, a very simple process, just a very simple 3 points that you can go deeply into as much as you like. And in terms of the awakening process, that conscious journey, and the first one is allowing life to crack you open. Well, actually not that you allow it just happens, because life will give us opportunity after opportunity to become more of who we are. So I had a couple of opportunities along the way. And then a big one came along, and that was when I was still married and wanting to have a baby, as most people do, as a lot of people do, I should say. And that wasn't happening for me. And, 7 rounds of IVF, and being a mother for me this lifetime isn't part of my journey, and I'm completely at peace with that now. And it actually sparked my consciousness awakening, because I went searching for my purpose. I was like, well, if I can't be a mother, I wanted to be a mother, if that isn't for me, then it's got to be something else. And then a few years later, massive cracking open, right? With the horrific end to the 20-year relationship I was in. I'll go back to episode 1 if you want to hear about that. And that's what really cracked me open. And number 2, the second part of this process is that we recognize the challenge, whatever it is. And that, those two were significant. They were the biggest challenges that, I've experienced to date this lifetime. And there's been lots and lots of other ones as well. And so you don't need to have had some big cracking open like I did, or you can use your cracking open or any opportunity, any challenge that comes up and really challenges you or upsets you, how is life happening for me and not to me? How is life cracking open? What am I to experience from this? And I know for me, like, I couldn't stand to be where I was in the absolute pain. The depth of pain, even though I hadn't faced it all yet early on, was just so unbearable that I surrendered to the journey. Like, I surrendered to it. And I got a tattoo on my wrist that says fearless, to remind myself to be fearless in my healing journey. And this is when we can recognize this human journey for what it is. It's a journey of the soul. And so when we take those opportunities life gives us, there are so many gifts to be found. Like, for me, I felt feelings that I never knew existed. They felt so extreme. Like, I didn't even know they were possible to survive. But I did. And I was left with amazing gifts. And it's more than resilience. It's more than like having deep compassion and empathy. It's grace. And it's the ability to hold space for the darkest of the dark. Like, I was a coach before life cracked me open so strongly. And I was really good at what I did. Like, I was a leadership coach in large organizations, and I didn't have the depth then, and now I have this depth. Nothing you can tell me can shock me. As a healer, I am in service to those who resonate with my energy. And so, like, the gift that I received from my cracking open, one of them was this ability to be able to hold people in, go really deep, because I know now that, like, as a healer, guide, teacher, I can only take someone as deep as where I'm willing to go. And so my journey continues. And my journey, as I keep taking it and I keep going deeper, the deeper I go, the more authentic I am, the happier I am, the more joy I have in my life, and the more peace and fulfillment. And I'm just so, so grateful. Like, I am truly grateful from the bottom of my heart for taking this journey, this brave human journey that is full of the challenges. And so my invitation to you is to see that your challenges are a way of life cracking you open to the richness of your soul, the authenticity of your soul. And the third part of this awakening, this awareness, is that then you get in touch with your soul gifts, your intuition, and we all have them. We all came to live this lifetime with some kind of purpose, like our soul desiring to learn and grow. And when we can lean into that and like find out more and more about who we are, it truly becomes so light and so joyful, and hence healed and healing, because we're no longer running, or not running, that was the wrong use of word. We are no longer chasing healing. We're no longer looking to heal to relieve pain. We've done that, right? We've moved through it. And then when we continue healing, then that's when it becomes just so much lighter, and like when I had particularly one of my clients had this beautiful session with me this morning, and she just said to me then, there's so much to learn. And I'm like, I know, me too, because the journey continues. So, what has resonated for you? Are you allowing life to crack you open and recognize it for the journey that it is? Are you taking the invitation that life is giving you to look deeper? Look into, what lights you up? What are your gifts? How can you be of service? Because we are all here to be of service to each other. And if I can be of service to you, please message me and we can have a chat. It is a dream that my life is now, a very, very pleasant and powerful dream that I have awakened into on this part of my journey. And that is not to say that there are not challenges, there are. It's just that I view them differently and I can hold myself through them. So please let me know, what are your takeaways from this? What are you going to do differently as a result? And I'm sending you lots and lots of love as always. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Healed and Healing podcast. And thank you for being on your own healing journey, because the more of us who choose to heal, the more that we shine our light to this whole world. And your support means so much to me, and means, being on your own healing journey just means so much to you. I'm proud of you and what we do together on this healing journey is so good for everyone around us as well. Never underestimate that. So please subscribe, give me a review, give me some stars, and I just can't wait to see you on our very next episode in this beautiful community. Lots of love.